Hey folks, this is another lesson in a series that aspires to teach Google Apps Script's Gmail app to beginners. In previous lessons, we've learned how to send emails, how to send HTML emails, how to send messages on carbon copy and blind carbon copy, how to access our Gmail inbox, read subject lines, access email bodies, create drive files from attachments, and how to dynamically add labels. We're going to resume by navigating to the Files menu, where we'll be creating a new script file. You can call this file whatever you want to. I'm going to call mine L underscore mark underscore red. I'm going to hit enter. The reason that I used L underscore is so that I can organize my file directory. So if I want to move something up or move it back, I just change the starting letter and then everything is organized in a way so that I know where it is. The focus of this lesson is going to be marking an unread email as read. So in my inbox, I have an unread email that has the subject line of please mark this email as read. So what we are going to do is we are going to script out a solution so that anytime that I get a specific subject line in my inbox, the function can run and mark it as read. So we are going to begin by removing the boilerplate code. You can keep it if you want to. I'm going to type function space, and I am going to call my function mark capital R read and have an open set of parentheses. I'm not going to be passing any arguments as part of this lesson, but if you do want to make this a more dynamic function, you can add some variables here and plug it into your logic. Hit the right arrow on our keyboard, hit space, add a set of curly brackets, hit enter twice, and the first thing that we're going to do is add 2 slashes for a comment so that we can access the Gmail app. I'm going to hit enter and tab, and I'm going to declare a variable. You can use any name that you want to. I'm going to be using the word inbox. I'm going to set that equal to capital G Gmail, capital A app, dot get, capital I inbox threads. I have an open set of parentheses, and we're not going to be passing any arguments to it. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard. We're going to add a semicolon. We're going to hit enter twice, add 2 slashes for a comment, where we will add some logging for transparency. I'm going to hit enter and tab, and we're going to use capital L logger.log. We're going to have an open parentheses, and we're going to pass whatever name you used on line 4. So in my case, it's the word inbox. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard, and I'm going to add a semicolon. So at this point, if I try to run my code, I'm going to get an error because the function, my function, is currently selected because I changed the name but didn't save the file. So I'm going to hit save. Now I have mark read as my function name. I hit run, and the output is an array of Gmail thread objects. So in order for us to access the threads in our inbox, we're going to have to loop through this inbox variable. So we are going to close our execution log, go to line 7, hit enter twice, and we're going to want to align our cursor with line 3. So we're going to use Shift Tab, and now you can see we are aligned with line 6, and then we're going to hit Shift Tab, and we are now aligned with line 3. We're going to add 2 slashes for a comment where we will be iterating through the inbox variable. I'm going to hit enter and tab. The way that we're going to do that is by using a for loop. So we're going to type for, open parentheses. You're going to have to declare a variable for for. Typically, people use the letter I, but you can use whatever variable you want to. I'm going to use I. I'm going to say for I in, and then I am going to say inbox. So you're going to reference whatever variable name you typed on line 4. We hit the right arrow on our keyboard, hit space, add a set of curly brackets, and hit enter twice. We are going to add 2 slashes for a comment where we will identify the subject line. We're going to hit enter and tab, and we are going to declare a new variable called subject capital L line, and we'll set it equal to inbox square bracket I. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard, and we're going to use dot get first message subject. We're going to have an open set of parentheses. We are not going to pass any arguments to those parentheses. So we're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard and add a semicolon. We're going to hit enter twice, 2 slashes for a comment where we will add some logging for transparency. We're going to hit enter and tab, and we're going to use capital L logger.log, open up a set of parentheses, and pass whatever the variable name is on line 13. In my case, it is subject line. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard. I'm going to add a semicolon, and I'm going to hit run. This is just going to give us some feedback so that we can ensure that our logic is working correctly. So if you have thousands of emails, you might have wanted to hit stop before your script compiles, or you can let it run, whatever works best for you. So you can see here I have a couple different emails in my inbox. And if I go to the top, you can see that my most recent email is, please mark this email as read. Since we saw that when we started the video, we can confirm that this is working as expected. So because we don't need it anymore, I am going to comment out the logging on line 16. I just did that by highlighting it and then hitting Command/. If you're using a Windows machine, it's probably Control/, but I apologize if that's not correct. Additionally, I'm going to log out line 7. So if you don't know the hotkey command for adding a comment, you can manually just add 2 slashes and a space, and it does the same thing. So the reason that I log that out is because I don't want all of that noise as we continue to develop our logic. So we're going to resume on line 16, where we will hit enter twice, and then we're going to align our cursor indentation with line 12. So we're going to hit Shift Tab, and now we're aligned with line 15. We're going to hit Shift Tab, and now we are aligned with line 12. We're going to add 2 slashes for a comment, where we will add conditional logic for the emails we want. We're going to hit enter and tab. So we're going to use if. We're going to open up a set of parentheses, and we're going to reference the variable on line 13. So I'm going to say subject line. I'm going to hit space. I'm going to add 2 equal signs. I'm going to hit space, and I'm going to add single quotes. You can also add double quotes if you want to. So for my purposes, I want to access, please mark this email as read. So I'm going to go in here, and you can either copy and paste it or just type it out. So I'm going to say, please mark this email as read. And I'm just going to go check that to make sure. Please mark this email as read. Awesome. So now I have logic that is establishing comparison. And that's why you need to use double equal signs. Anytime you use double equal signs, you are comparing one thing to another. So in this situation, we are defining a variable for subject line on line 13. You'll note that we're using a single equal sign for that. When you use one equal sign, you are defining something. So you're saying that subject line is equal to the logic that follows. When you're using double equal signs, you are comparing it. So you're saying all of these subject lines are being compared against this string. If the subject line is the same as the string, then I want you to do something else. And that's what we're now going to define, is what we want to have happen if the subject line matches our string. So we're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard twice so that we're to the right of the parentheses. We're going to add a space and add a set of curly brackets. We're going to hit enter twice. And what we're going to do now is just mark our email as read. So we're going to add 2 slashes for a comment, and we are going to mark as read. We're going to hit enter and tab, and we are going to use our variable from line 4, which is inbox. We're going to add square bracket, and we are going to pass in our iteration variable, which in my case is I. And then we're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard. We're going to add a dot, and then we're going to type mark, and then you can see that we have read. So we are going to add a set of parentheses. We don't need to pass any arguments. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard. I'm going to add a semicolon. I'm going to save my project. I'm going to hit run. I am going to wait for my script to compile. It has successfully completed. I am going to go to my inbox. I'm going to hit refresh. And you can see I now have no unread messages in my inbox. So my script has worked as expected. Now, additionally, you could also mark something as unread. So what I'm going to do now is comment out line 22. So I highlighted it using Shift Command left arrow. If you're on a Windows machine, I think it's Shift Control left arrow. And then I did Command slash or control slash. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard. I'm going to hit enter twice. I am going to align my cursor with line 21. So I'm going to do shift tab, and now I'm going to add a comment where I will mark as unread. I'm going to hit enter and tab. I'm going to use inbox, square bracket I, hit the right arrow on my keyboard, add a dot, and now I will mark unread. I'll add an open parentheses there, add a semicolon, and hit run. I'm going to wait for my code to finish compiling. You can see it is completed without any errors. I'm going to go back to my inbox. I'm going to hit the little refresh arrow, and now you can see that this email is now unread. So you have the ability to mark emails as read or unread, and the way that we did that was by accessing our Gmail so that we could get all the threads in our inbox. We then used a for loop to iterate through each Gmail thread object that appears as a list so that we could get the subject for each thread in our inbox. We then evaluated our subject lines against a string, and we marked the unread email as read. We also learned that we could mark it as unread. Now, additionally, there's some other options in here where you can mark important, mark unimportant. So you have a couple different options that you can do in here. It really depends on what your project requires.